It's me, your host, Kevin Humphreys here. Joining me as he does, every time is Jack Feldman. Jack, we had a crazy weekend of NFL, college football, little MLB playoffs mixed in there. Let's start with the game that just happened. Um, the Patriots, Drake Maye go on a game-winning drive to beat the Buffalo Bills 23-20. They improved to 3-2. The last unbeaten team in the NFL goes down. Obviously, um, you're one of the drivers of the Drake May bandwagon. So how are things in Drake May land?
Oh, it's wonderful. Best night. Couldn't ask for a better night for Drake May, except if he threw a couple touchdowns. But other than that, I mean, they just played great. They made a Super Bowl contending team look just out of sorts at times. I mean, that whole first half was just awful for both sides, honestly.
Right.
Um, but that's what you want if you're a Patriots fan, or if you want the Bills to lose, is you want to see them uncomfortable. You want to see them making mistakes. Um, and then Drake May. I mean, not to get too crazy, but I'm on the Drake May train. I said that I was gonna take him over Jaden Daniels a few weeks ago. And if you want to hop on a train, I believe Drake May is the train you want to hop onto. 22 of 30 today. That's 34% or 74%.
Right.
Um,
He broke his
273 yards.
streak. He broke his streak
He
of
did.
over 75% 2 touchdowns. So, I
He
mean,
did.
maybe the conversation we should be having is, are you worried?
Not one bit. Not one bit. Because I just saw just the IQ's already there, and it's year
Yep.
two for him. And so that last drive, he didn't take the sack. He didn't throw it out of bounds.
That
So he didn't leave a full minute.
yeah.
And
That
so I
that
just
first
think,
pass on the game-winning drive where he fights off the stiff arm and gets the ball to Diggs was, I think there are two. I mean, maybe Mahomes is in there. There are three quarterbacks in the league that can make that throw, and two of them were on the field tonight.
right, right. And so, again, if you want to be on the Drake May train, hop on. I'm full. I'm riding it. I am the conductor. I will more than happily go to war for this man, because he is bringing New England back to reality, back to relevance, and I'm honestly all for it, because the NFL is just much better when the Patriots are good.
Yeah, I agree. As someone who is a Michigan fan and thereby a Tom Brady stan, like it was so much fun to watch Tom Brady and the Patriots all those years. I understand why like people don't like dynasties and stuff, but for New England to and don't get me wrong, it was fun as heck to root against the Patriots after
Mhm.
Brady left. I mean, that was awesome. Um I think after, not this weekend is definitive of anything, but I think we can put the Tom Brady or Bill Belichick who's responsible for those Super Bowls. I think that's pretty much solidified post the breakup. And then but to see like Vrabel on the sidelines who's just a beast of a man, like one of the most fun coaches in football, and Drake May who's by far like honestly the most fun young quarterback to watch in the league right now. Him and Jaden, it's like neck and neck, but those two are definitely 1 and 2 by a wide margin. And gosh, they Drake May is electric. I haven't been anti Drake May. I just haven't been, running around like I haven't been running out on the field holding the Drake May flag, but
That's me.
tonight,
That's me.
tonight, man, like that stiff arm and throw to Diggs, I was like in that moment too, like if he doesn't make that personally, I think they have a hard time scoring that. But they always say the first down on those drives is the hardest one to get. And the fact that he was able to make that play and got him in rhythm, I mean, couldn't ask for anything else from the guy.
Right. And so that's another reason why I'm taking May over Jane Daniels right now, is he is stiff arming these 320-pound guys, just randomly throwing it out. and completing the pass. I mean, if you
Right.
saw that happening and you didn't see the ball going to the receiver, you would
Yeah.
think that's just going to the third row because he's
Yep.
just throwing it out of bounds. But like
Yep.
they showed the replay, I was like, oh yeah, that's going 3 feet out of bounds. But nope, it went straight to a receiver on the dot. Like
Yeah.
it's just absolutely nuts, which is something that you don't see out of second year quarterbacks.
Right. And they're the Patriots are 3-2, but somehow they lost to the Raiders week 1, which is there are a lot of week 1 results that, just don't make sense. And honestly, it's still the preseason. Week 1, week 2 is still the preseason. And then freaking Ramondre Stevenson has cost the Patriots so many points and really cost them a game against the Steelers. So you're looking at a team that could easily and probably should be 4-1 right now. And so, I'm not sure if I am just, you know, Tarico and Chris Collinsworth were like, "Oh, this win means that the Patriots are back." And I'm like, "Okay, maybe let's hit the brakes a little bit. Like I don't think this team is ready to contend for a Super Bowl this year, but I think today and so far this season they have a franchise quarterback. They have a guy who is going to win Super Bowls in the future, and I think that's what today's announcement to, they said that they hadn't had a primetime football game for over a year or over a season, so for national audience who hadn't watched the Patriots very much, like, everyone should be bought in now. If the Drake Bay bandwagon might not have been super full before this week, but I'm sure he's like front page story tomorrow if I had to guess.
Oh yeah.
So,
All aboard the Drake May train. Let's get it.
all right. Anything else on Drake May before we recap the rest of the weekend?
Nah, I'm good with that.
All right. Let's get to, dare I say, the most exciting team in sports right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Seattle Seahawks in a 38-35 shootout, which, it was 6-0 for a long time. And then finally the Buccaneers found the end zone late in the second quarter to make it 13-0. And then bam, like both defenses just decided to stop playing, I guess, or the offenses woke up. But this game was super fun. Darnold was incredible until he made the one mistake that he can't make, and the Buccaneers made him pay. What was your biggest takeaway from this game, Jack?
Um, it's just absolutely electric. I love it. I think that's what a lot of people want is just offensive shootouts, especially in
Yeah.
football. And then the other thing is, I think Emeka Ibuka just got put into the best position any receiver could ask for.
Mhm.
Because you got Baker Mayfield, who's playing out of his mind these last few seasons,
Right.
and he's with a wide receiver core that can't stay healthy. And so he's going to get the ball, and he has been getting the
Yeah.
ball through these first 5 weeks, and he's showing what kind of talent he is, taking advantage of the two receivers that are out. I mean, you have Jalen McMillan and Chris Godwin to begin the season, and then right as Chris
Mhm.
Godwin came back, Mike Evans is
Mike
out. So
Evans,
you've
yep.
had two of your top three receivers, and so Ibuka comes in and shows what he's made of. And so if you're a receiver coming in, that's the prime position, and Ibuka is just absolutely shined.
Yeah, what's crazy is he was never a number he
Mm-mm.
never led Ohio State in, receiving yards a single season, he was there. Yet he's honestly, been one of the best, 5 to 10 receivers in the NFL so far this year,
Mhm.
which is look at the other receivers he's played with: Jeremiah Smith, Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, all these guys that he's played with, are also studs in the NFL. So to see him, get more of a shine, even though I'm a Michigan fan and I hate Ohio State, to see him come in and just completely ball out. It's a cool story, for
Mhm.
a guy who honestly was the most underrated college football player his entire time in college. And Jack, I just have one big question to ask about the Buccaneers. Is this sustainable this trend of getting in these weird close games and then having to kick game-winning field goals for the win every single week.
That's the craziest thing is, like, every time I'm like, "Oh, surely they're not gonna win this one." And then they go
Right.
do it. They're 4-1, and their one
Yeah.
loss is to the defending champs.
Yep.
I'm just like, "Surely you're gonna lose one of these games." But, I mean, the point total at the end, they've won by a total of like, 9 points or something,
Yeah, something.
and then they lost to 6. They've lost by 6. And so,
Yeah.
like, is that truly sustainable throughout a whole season? We've seen it. A lot of
Yeah.
teams have done that all season where they just win by 3 to 4 points, but, I really do. I think they will keep winning just because of the man taking all the snaps, Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's just he's the type of guy that he just finds a way no matter what position he's in.
100%. Like, there's guys at the end of the game that you don't want to have the ball in their hands, and, like, maybe we'll touch on them a little bit, but, like, the Chargers, Herbert is better, he's more physically gifted, like, a lot of people think he's a better quarterback, right? But if the game's on the line, like, it's Baker Mayfield is one of the guys that you want to have the ball in your hand, right? Like, obviously, it's Mahomes, it's Allen, it's Burrow, but, like, Baker's right there as far as, like, guys that, like, with 2 minutes left, like, I'm 100% that he's at least gonna get him down in a field goal range, like, that's just a given, and then it's just up to that field goal kicker to make it. Um, and I'm just excited to hopefully see them with a healthy wide receiver room.
Mhm.
Oh, and Bucky Irving was hurt today too.
Yep.
That was the other
Yep.
crazy thing is Rashad they won that game against a great Seattle Seahawks defense, with their backup running back down their Hall of Fame wide receiver. Chris Godwin's like it's his second game back since injury, so he's still shaking off the cobwebs, right? And they were able to put up 38 on a Seahawks defense that has just honestly been phenomenal for the first part of the season. So yeah, I think winning this way isn't sustainable, but I think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, and that's the one thing I want to bring up at the very end of this topic is just like I want to see this Buccaneers team fully healthy
Yeah,
because they keep squeaking by, but they're also missing their top 2 receivers. They're missing their top running back
right.
that's young and powerful.
Yep.
Um, and so it's just incredible. And I agree with you. I think this Buccaneers team can make a deep run,
Yeah.
a very quiet run because no one's talking about the Buccaneers right now. They're just talking about how they keep scraping by.
Hmm.
Um, but I really hope that Mike Evans can come back and they can all get healthy. And I mean, this offense would just be absolutely insane.
Yeah. 100%. Quick one right here. Texans 44, Ravens 10. We previewed this game last time. I know the Ravens were super injured. Are we calling time of death at 1 and 4, or are we still holding out hope that because guess what? The Ravens, they play the Rams next week, and Lamar's probably not gonna be healthy for that game either. So it's likely they're 1 and 5. So like do we think that they can rattle off, 8-3, 9-2 during the second half of the season?
They are a team that is capable of that. That is for sure.
Yeah,
Um, and so that's a story that I want to be following for the rest of the season is
yeah,
if healthy. And that's another thing. I mean, I feel like Lamar Jackson has been healthy his whole career. And
yeah.
so it's just the way he plays, he's just bound to get hurt eventually. And he's getting up
Mhm.
in age. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps missing time this season. And
Yeah,
it just becomes just a wash for the Ravens this year. They go 6-10 or whatever it is, and
yeah.
they just kind of call it. Derrick Henry probably retires pretty soon, and they're just I don't know. Yeah, if I'm a Ravens fan, I would not be excited for the future because
It's an
your
old
Hall of Fame.
defense.
It's old. The
Yeah,
old defense. You got an old running back. You got Zay Flowers, not the greatest wide receiver one, and then you got Lamar
Mark
Jackson who hasn't
Andrews
been
looks
hurt.
washed.
You got exactly. And so if I'm a Ravens fan, I would be this is when I'd start hitting that concern button. I know Cooper Rush was your starting quarterback today, but I mean, giving up 44 points to a Texans team that I don't think is that great offensively
Yeah.
is very concerning.
Yeah. I mean, like they were super banged up today, so obviously like fully healthy, we expect the Ravens to win this game,
Mhm.
fairly easily, but like they've played the best teams in the NFL so far this season, but their
Right.
defenses looked like looked like Swiss cheese. So even if they were to get healthy and go on this run, like I still don't see them as contenders just because their defense just isn't good enough to hang with the big boys in the AFC. The last critical game I would say um this Sunday was Broncos beating the Eagles 21-18. Eagles were up, or sorry, Eagles were up big and just let it slip away. Or sorry, 21-17. Excuse me. It was
Mm.
21-17. Eagles were up 17-3.
Mhm.
Looked like they were on cruise control, but Jack, they had three and outs and one drive where they got the first down and then punted on their next set of downs. In the second half, their offense went completely silent after scoring an opening drive touchdown. They're 4-1. We've seen them start slow and get hot to end the season before, but like this Eagles, this even though they're 4-1, it's the most concerning 4-1 possible, right?
Oh, 100%. And I really don't understand this Eagles offense specifically
Right.
because you're up 17-3 going in the third. You just scored again in your first drive in the third quarter to
You're up
go up
17-3.
17-3.
Yeah.
You give the ball to your best player, Saquon Barkley, one time in the second half. You hand the ball off one time
Yeah.
when you're up 17-3. It doesn't make sense. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it's what AJ Brown said last week on
Yep.
Twitter or what they were trying to prove saying they can throw the ball too,
Yeah.
but it's just it just doesn't make sense to me anymore of
Yeah.
how the Eagles just they don't feel like a team right now. They feel
Yeah.
like they have all personal agendas and they just want to get theirs and it just doesn't make sense, especially from a reigning champ standpoint.
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel like, they were incredible last season, don't get me wrong, but like I just feel like they're so dependent on who their coordinators are. Like this year, that offensive coordinator not good. Um Last season, they had the New Orleans Saints head coach who can't remember for the life of me right now. Can't remember his name, but like
To
he was
kill
really
more.
good. Yeah, yes, yeah, Kelmore. And so like they're so offensive coordinator based, like, and we'll get into this team
Mhm.
in a second. Like when Shane Steichen was there, that offense was great. That offense ran the ball well. That offense threw the ball well. When Kellen Moore's there, that offense has really good balance, but it just seems like the balance is off. Hurts threw 44 times and they were leading for 90% of this game. And they have arguably like one of the top like receiving groups in the NFL with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You have Goddard, who's a really good tight end in there as well. Like Jahan Dotson was showing signs of life for the Eagles so far this season. Like they're super talented, but and like I don't know X's and O's football very well, but like you look at the guys who do, and they're like, man, this Eagles offense, it's super vanilla. Like there's not a like
Mhm.
there's just not a whole lot of complexity to their offense. It's pretty much based on talent, and I just think, like if Andy Reid was coaching this team, man, this team might be unstoppable. But thank goodness they have some idiot coaches, I guess is what I'd say.
Yeah. I still just can't believe I just don't understand how you give arguably the best running back in the world 6 carries in a
Yeah.
game that you were up 2 scores in the third. It
Yeah.
just I just can't like, if I was an Eagles fan, I would be losing my mind right now, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't make
Well,
sense, and maybe they're
because they're also
well,
Penn State and Philadelphia Phillies fans too. So
that's true. That is true, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, like, it almost feels like they're trying to become a complex team when in reality they don't need to be a complex team because they have all that talent. I mean,
right.
it comes down to hike the ball, give it to the guy. Sometimes football is not complex at all. Like you just have to give it to your best guy.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense to me.
No. No, not at all. Outside of the Phillies, we had Jane Daniels was back. They beat the Chargers 27-10. Herbert had the ball trying to make it a game, threw a pick in the end zone, so that was tough for me who said that the Chargers might be the best team in the AFC 2 games ago when they were 3-0. That take his age very poorly. Aged about as well as milk does, which Coach Harbaugh is a proponent of, but maybe they'll get it turned around, but it has looked real bad for them the last 2 weeks, and so definitely concerned about the Chargers right now. Um, as far as other NFL scores, Jack, real quick, you said that the Colts weren't even going to be a 500 team
That
after week
also
1 or week
aged
2.
awfully.
Are you
Um
or have you changed your mind on that?
they're legit. I was never bought in on the Colts. I didn't draft Jonathan Taylor in any league because I just didn't think the offense would do anything this year. And so I didn't think they'd run the ball at all. But
Yeah.
they have definitely proved me wrong in that aspect. I mean, Jonathan Taylor looks amazing. Um, Indiana Jones is unstoppable right now, and I'm all for it because I love the underdog story. I love giving guys another chance after them failing somewhere else. And so just seeing Daniel Jones be the player that everyone thought he was coming out of college is I'm all for it. And so I I was wrong on that one. But I'm glad that I was wrong because it's fun to see these teams that have been really bad for a few years start winning again.
Yeah. That offensive line is really nasty. Like, they have some studs. Like, they're a super fun team to watch. They play in a division that I think is pretty much theirs for the taking as long as they don't, drop any real bad ones. I mean,
Hmm.
we'll see if the Jaguars win tomorrow night against the Chiefs, maybe, they're right in the mix as well. So, but I think they're really good. Like, are they gonna beat the Bills or the Chiefs in the playoffs? Probably not,
Maybe.
they look like a 12 win team
Yeah.
that's gonna be, a tough out in the playoffs, which is super fun. Anything else in the NFL that we need to talk about?
Um, the one thing that I wanted to talk about is how do players just drop the ball before getting into the end zone? That is the one thing that I will never understand in football is the fact of why why is that a thing? Like it doesn't compute with my head. Like literally just run 5 more yards before letting go of the ball. That's it just doesn't make sense and it's never made sense, but it happens way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, so I think what you're getting
Your
at
turn.
is Amari DiMercato for the Arizona Cardinals, who are up 28-6, Jack. They were up 28-6, and they were about a foot away from a 28-6 point lead. Okay. And Amari DiMercato, who is only playing because our number 1 and number 2 running backs, who really weren't that good already this year, both got injured. James Conner out for the season. Trey Benson's going to be on IR for 6 weeks. Monty Austin Forts saying, "Oh, like we believe in our depth." Michael Carter got a touchdown in the first half. Bam Knight got a touchdown. Amari DiMercato was about to score a touchdown. It was about to look like the Cardinals running game was back. And then in 1 nanosecond when he drops the football before he scores, then the Titans go down, they score a touchdown. Oh, and then the other thing is, Jack, have you ever seen a guy get an interception and to, save the game and then immediately just like let it fall out of his hands? And then
Nope.
not only then, when 2 of your players go to pick it up, one of them acts like he's a field goal kicker and kicks the ball into the end zone. And then the Tennessee Titans just miraculously fall on it. And then all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game. The offense is dead for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's on the sideline looking like he's about to play like 20 straight hours of Call of Duty tonight like he's just going to be mowing down dudes left and right tonight. That game ended, 4 or 5 hours ago. Oh, he is still he's playing Call of Duty right now. He's going all night. Amari DiMercato honestly can't be on the team tomorrow. Like, it's inexcusable. It lost them the football game. I don't remember who the defensive back was who caught it, but like, just bat the ball down next time or something, please. Like, it was without a doubt the worst loss that anyone's had in the NFL this season. And the thing is we already saw the Cardinals almost blow it to the Panthers weeks before. So as soon as DiMercato dropped the ball, I was like, you knew what was going to happen. If you're a Cardinals fan, if you're an Arizona sports fan, like, you're not allowed to have happiness, it seems, in life. Because for whatever reason, like, and what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to fire the coach because our running back dropped the ball and our defensive back, like, can't hang on to an interception. Like, what do? We fire the GM? What do we do, Jack? What am I supposed to do? I own 1,000 pieces of Arizona Diamondbacks merch and Phoenix Suns merch, and you've seen me wear them all. Have you ever seen me wear a Cardinals, anything Cardinals? Well, guess what, Jack? There's a reason, because this team hasn't given me a damn thing to cheer about in 11 years. So
It's true. And that's the sad part, is there really isn't anything you can do other than try to blow up the whole thing. I mean,
which we've done twice.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's not the coach's fault. It's not the GM's fault. It's just unexcusable, just boneheaded moves. And so that's what it comes down to is, I mean, you're not even playing a good team today. You guys are playing the worst team in the NFL right now, and you gave them their first win because of just mental stupid mistakes, not holding on to the ball for 3 extra yards, not even a foot. But it's just that's the one thing that I will never understand with football players. I mean, it doesn't happen as like super frequently, but it shouldn't happen, period, like ever. There should never be something like this that happens, and here we are talking about it, and it cost them the game. But the other one thing I wanted to talk about really quick with the Cardinals is shout out to Michael Carter for saying that he was going to be the starting running back, and he was. And I do not see that a lot, because a lot of players talk and then they don't do anything. But Michael Carter came up, took the ball 18 carries. I mean, played decently, but he said that he was going to start, and sure enough, he did.
Yeah, well,
didn't do much, but
well, it's not hard to start over a guy who can't even hold on to the ball on his way to the end zone. So
it's true.
All right. I don't want to talk about the NFL. It makes me depressed. So let's have some fun. bashing on some college football teams, Jack. Perhaps maybe okay, what loss was more shocking? The Cardinals loss or UCLA beating Penn State on Saturday?
UCLA beating Penn State beats
Okay.
every upset probably this whole season, if I'm being honest. Like, I
I
don't
can't think
see
of a crazier upset in my life.
nothing. Yeah, nothing's happened this season, and nothing's happened like in a long, long time. I mean, an
It's
0-4 team getting blown out every single week. They
they
lost
hadn't
to New
led a
Mexico.
snap.
They
They
lost to New Mexico.
they hadn't led for a single second this season. Not one.
It's nuts.
And they led wire to wire against a title contender, against a team that like, they lost the big one, but guess what? They took Oregon to double overtime.
Mhm.
Like it's not
Right.
like they got played off the field against them.
Right. They
And
this UCLA team is just dead in the water, just like nothing to play for. Show up and they beat a top 10 team.
right.
And it's just like the biggest thing that I honestly take away from this and even the Texas game is I am so grateful that they are both out of the top 25 now because
Yeah.
it finally helps us understand that we're not voting due to your name. And that's
Mhm.
something that I really am glad happened this week is Penn State's not ranked, Texas isn't ranked. And I know
Mhm.
rankings aren't massive. It's not end all be all, but it's just finally nice to see these power four teams that have the name finally don't have the number in front of that.
Right. And obviously like the best part about the UCLA story was like Jerry Neuheisel, UCLA's new offensive coordinator, like having his dad, like seeing his dad watch him call his first game as an offensive coordinator was incredible. It was everything you want for in a Cinderella story. Like, I mean, honestly, this is a more crazy upset than like a 16 seed beating a 1 seed. Like
Hmm.
because at least both of those teams that like beat the 1 seed, right? Um they were they were at least in the tournament. Like if there was a tournament, there's no shot that UCLA makes any type of tournament this season, right? They're not
Right.
good enough. They might they might finish the season, we thought they might finish the season 0-12. It actually, looks like Nico looked. I don't know where that Nico has been for the his 4 losses, but that Nico looked like the number 1 prospect that everyone thought he was gonna be when he showed up on campus at Tennessee. It was the best game he's ever played. Maybe they get like 3 wins this season, but this team isn't a bowl team. We know that. Like, it really just comes down to Franklin's done at Penn State, and, like, things have gotten so stale there. Like, they haven't lost a game like this as like, the thing about Penn State is they don't win the big ones, but they never slip up in this game. Like, they haven't done that the entire time Franklin's
Right.
fielded a top 20 team at Penn State. And they did it, and they're dead. They're dead. To me, Aller's like a small problem, but the big problem is the head coach. Like the his recipe for success, it's outdated and it's dead.
Yeah. Yep. That is as accurate as it gets. I mean, the other one thing that I want to talk about is do you know the last time something like this happened where an 0-4 team beat a top 10 team?
So I only know this, and I took a lot of offense to it, but was it UAB beating BYU in 1985, right?
UTEP.
UTEP.
UTEP
Okay.
in 1985. They lost BYU lost 23-16 to UTEP. And these really are like very similar stories, honestly. Is the
Yeah.
Cougars, they won the national championship in 84, so they were ranked high because they had success previous year. Same thing kind of with Penn State. They got pretty far into the playoffs. They won. Didn't they win a game, or did they not?
Sorry, say that again.
I said, did Penn State win a game last year in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
they won 2, but they beat, SMU and
Okay,
Boise State,
that's
so
right.
they played, like, the 2
Right.
worst teams that made the playoff, they played.
Yes. Not. That's right. Yes. But anyway, they showed success last year. And then they got ranked high and just got caught. I mean, UTEP back in '85, they lost to Kent State 51-24. And it's the same thing with UCLA. They just lost to New Mexico 35-10.
Yeah,
And so like it's it's just interesting to see the last time that something like this happened was 40 years ago,
yeah,
which is just crazy.
yeah.
Just doesn't happen.
Um, hopefully, after assuming Oklahoma, even with a backup quarterback, potentially beats Texas this weekend, which I don't see Texas scoring more than, like, 10 points against Oklahoma this weekend. Hopefully, we don't have to talk about Florida or Texas again for the rest of the season. That's what I'm hoping
I agree.
for. Um, DJ showed signs of life. Arch Manning stinks. I mean, it was funny. In the fourth quarter, I was watching with my family. They were like, huh, Arch is going to throw another pick again. Then he threw another pick, and we all started laughing. And like, you could just set your watch to it. I mean, when the backup came in and
Mhm.
had that nice pass, we all were like, oh, they should keep him in. And guess who came in and threw a pick on the next play? Arch Manning came back into the game, first play, pick, like clockwork. It was one of the funniest things. Honestly, if you're Sarkeesian, I don't know how you do it with a Manning at quarterback, but I think you hit the panic button and I think you just put in the
Mhm.
backup. Like I
Well,
think
you just
I think you
can't
have
with
to.
his name, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's just the nepotism of football. You just can't bench your star guy with the name.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I took away from last year's Texas team is did people overlook how good Quinn Ewers actually was at quarterback?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's smoking a cigar in Miami right now.
Mhm.
He doesn't care. I mean, whether the Dolphins win or lose is one thing, but every Saturday when he sits down and watches Arch Manning stink it up on TV,
Yeah.
he's smoking a cigar like, man, you didn't know how good you had it.
Exactly. And so that's the one that's another takeaway that I was thinking about this weekend is like did Texas fans really lose out of joy last year because they were just so excited to see Arch Manning
Yeah.
play that they just
Yeah.
didn't enjoy an
Hmm.
actual elite quarterback?
Yeah. And don't worry, Jack. They have Leah Bell coming in next year, so they're
It's
they're gonna
true.
be
They're
fine.
fine.
Texas
They're
fans,
fine.
you're good.
They'll
You
probably
got
be
the net.
preseason top 10 again. So
And honestly, probably will deserve it next year with Leah Bell because unlike Arch Manning, this kid's actually
that's true.
proven.
That's true.
Um, real quick before we get out of here, Bama beats Vandy 30-14. It was a lot closer game than that. If you watched it, Vandy hung around. But what impressed me the most was two things. Like Vandy goes up 14-7. You could look at it like, oh my gosh, the wheels are coming off again for Alabama. Nope. They stayed poised. Ty Simpson, threw for 300 something yards again and was just a killer again. Like if he's not in New York at the end of the season, I'll be shocked. Like just how good he is at especially those like secondary level throws like 10 to 20 yards down the field. He's so good at those. Um they had the biggest drive of their season in my opinion was the one in the second quarter right before halftime. They could have played it safe, but they didn't. He takes them down, they tie it up,
Mhm.
get momentum back, which is a huge thing for them because if it's 14-7 in that locker room, they're like, how is this happening? And then in the second half, their defense completely locked it down. Like Diego was in
Mhm.
hell in the second half. And you kind of
Mhm.
finally saw, I mean, we've seen it in bits and pieces, but like that second half showed like Bama in my opinion, they're starting to elevate themselves into that top tier of title contenders, with back-to-back wins against Georgia and Vandy. Like, I think Vandy's a top 20 team. Like, with
Mhm.
Diego at quarterback, they could go 8-4, 9-3, and doing that in the SEC is incredible. So Bama continues to impress me, and obviously I have a lot of stock invested into them takes wise, so I'm rooting for them every Saturday to make me look kind of smart. Um,
No, they definitely are that quality, and I think after I mean, it's just a gauntlet of the SEC, but I think they are the front runner, and I was wrong on that because I didn't think Bama was back, but
yeah,
they're looking good, and if I was in that locker room, honestly, I would be thinking that same thing of, "How are we losing to Vanderbilt again? Like, are
yeah,
you kidding me? Like, what are we doing?" And I would start hitting that panic button at halftime.
yeah,
But instead, they stayed poised. They didn't give up another point after halftime, and I
mhm,
mean, it's just a great win for Alabama, regardless
yeah,
of the situation and the names and whatnot.
yeah, and, if, oh, watched so much football this weekend, I'm blanking on names, but if it's Bama's quarterback from last season, I
Milrow,
I think yeah,
Joe
Milrow.
Milrow.
Yeah, if Milrow's a quarterback during that game, he's folding, like, he's freaking
Mhm.
out when they're down 14 to
Right.
7. Ty
Mm.
Simpson is the complete opposite, like, he's one of those guys where, like, it doesn't really seem to matter the pressure in the moment, like, his pulse just stays in a flat line, like, he's just a completely cold killer, and that's what Alabama's had in the past, and that's what they need right now.
Mhm.
Real quick before we get out of here, Iowa State lost to Cincinnati. Cincinnati dominated the whole way. The Big 12 was the most fun conference to watch this weekend as far as entertainment value. Um, that Kansas State Baylor game was awesome. If
Mhm.
you ever see Baylor down 14 points in the fourth quarter, just live bet them. Pro tip, they've come
Yep.
back twice already this season. And so, um, and then let's just get into, some quick contender talk in college football. I think we can unanimously agree Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami are three. Is there anyone else you want to put in that tier, or would you take those three against the field?
Honestly, I think it will be one of those teams that wins it, and I think there is quite a bit of a drop off after those
Okay.
three teams. I just don't really see many other teams. I mean, if you like Bama and what they've been doing, I would do that. You said Ohio State, Oregon, and who?
Miami.
Miami.
Yep.
Yeah, I really do think there's just a drop off right after that.
Yeah.
And I can't really tell you who else I'd even put up there.
Yeah. Let me let me list off some names. Because these are the teams that I think will ultimately end up making the playoff or making a push for the playoff. Texas A&M. They're they're
I was
loaded.
just about to say
Skill position is
I love Texas
insane.
A&M. Mhm.
Alabama, like I think they're 4 or 5 in my opinion.
Mhm.
Georgia, maybe I'm just giving them the respect because they're Georgia. They have shown a lot of like they've shown a lot of weaknesses. Um, and even against Kentucky, it didn't look awesome, I would say. Like
Mhm.
I watched a lot more of that game than I thought I would just because I was like, man, like Georgia,
Right.
like they're not like I don't know, they just look kind of they have a lot more weaknesses and their defense isn't as good as we're used to seeing.
Right.
Tennessee, just explosive offense. I mean, they had Georgia dead in the water twice and just couldn't do it. But other
Yep.
than that, they've looked great. Texas Tech, like,
I
could
That was the
Texas
one
Tech
team I forgot
legitimately
about.
be in that like contender, like top
I
tier contender?
truly I would if I had to put another team in that in that category, I think it would be
Mhm.
Texas Tech right now. But
Okay.
also, I really don't. Any team that Texas Tech has played is really not that great. Like they're not. They haven't been tested like an SEC type team, a Miami team,
Mhm.
and so like I don't know how good they are, but
Yeah.
I love watching this Texas Tech team, and I
Yeah.
think they have the talent to line up with anyone in the nation. Um, and so I just think that would be the team that I would put there.
I think so too. That their wide receiver room is really good. That
Mhm,
defensive line is nasty. Like no one's been able to do anything against that defensive line. And front seven too. Their linebacking core is
mhm,
elite too. The the best team left on their schedule, if you go by AP rankings, is BYU. And I honestly think they'll roll in that game. That
yep,
game's at home for them.
right.
So I legit like I think they do slip up at some point. It's the Big 12. I don't know who gets them. I don't know where, but they're 11-1 at the end of the season, I think.
I
Um,
think they'll go 12-0.
yeah, and I
I don't think
like
they'll drop one.
yeah. Um, the other teams, maybe even a tier below that is Ole Miss, Michigan, Notre Dame, Indiana, Oklahoma. Any of those teams jump out?
Mhm. I'd agree with that. They really don't. I
Yeah.
really don't think any of those teams can make a run in the playoffs. And so, again, I just think it's going to come down to who out of Ohio State, Miami, and Oregon have to play in the semis,
Yeah.
and then they meet the other one in the championship.
Yeah, I think so. I will say with that list of teams, like I love all the quarterbacks on all of those teams
Hmm.
that I said. Like Ole Miss has Trinidad, Michigan
Hmm.
has Michigan has
Underwood.
Bryce, Notre Dame has CJ Carr,
Yep.
Indiana's quarterback is probably going to be a first round draft pick at the end of the year, just because
Hmm.
all the other quarterbacks have sucked this year that
True.
people thought were going to be good.
Yep.
But, like, I think they're all dangerous, but I just see too many weaknesses in all of those. Notre Dame, if they can figure out that defense and have it rolling like it was last year, I think they're the one team that can go up to that top tier.
Yeah.
Even though they lost 2 games, they lost to, I believe, like, honestly, the number 1 team in the country and the number 4 or 5
Mhm.
team in the country. So, like, they're the one team that I could see elevating themselves a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, let's get out of here, Jack. Um, playoff baseball, this round hasn't been as great. Watch the Tigers and the Mariners. Neither of these teams have great offenses, so it's just automatically going to be close.
Yeah.
Blue Jays are dominating the Yankees. Let's hope that continues. Um, Cubs got dominated by the Brewers in game 1. If you're a
Hmm.
Phillies fan, I think this might have been one of the worst weekends you've ever had in your life. Like
Yeah.
Penn Penn State loses, Phillies, they had a 3-0 lead against the Dodgers and blew that. And then you have the Eagles meltdown against the Broncos. Like, I mean, I'm I'm half expecting to open up my phone and see that Joel Embiid's gonna be out for the season or something. It's just
Maxi.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I guess McCain got injured again,
That
so
is true. He did.
so yeah, things are bad in Philadelphia. Sure, glad I'm not a Phillies fan. Um,
Same.
like being an Arizona sports fan sucks, but my weekend wasn't that bad. So
At least your team's not supposed to be good.
right, I mean that hurts, Jack, but that hurts. But yes, I think we can both agree to pour one out for Philadelphia Phillies fans. Maybe. Who are we kidding? It's actually so funny.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so funny for especially those fans who are so insanely upset about everything, but are also so spoiled.
They are.
Um, like the
They
Phillies are
are.
good every year. The Eagles have won 2
The
Super Bowls in
Eagles.
the last 10 years. Like,
The
obviously the
Sixers are
Sixers have
supposed to be
been
good, but they're not.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tough, but they're spoiled. Like they should come try being
They
Arizona
make the
sports fan.
playoffs.
They should come. They should
come be a Jazz fan. Come win 17 games in a season.
Yeah, come to Arizona. Watch your hockey team get stolen by Utah because your political leaders denied your new arena request in favor of building a landfill.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
like, come watch the winningest team in the NBA that's never won a championship, and Cardinals team that's made the playoffs like 4 times in the last 30 years. And a Diamondbacks team that's missed the wild card by.
You had a good run last year.
No.
Yes, you did.
No. It's Jack. Don't. Jack. Stop it.
All right.
Stop.
We'll get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Pour one out for Philly.
And for Arizona, apparently.
Hey, today it brought back all the nightmares, Jack. All of them. We're gonna do a podcast soon on just why the Arizona sports scene is by far the worst.
They just need to sell every team.
Oh yeah, you want the Diamondbacks?
Just get them out of Arizona. Just get them out of Arizona, and maybe they'll do something.
That's gross, Jack.
It's just too hot there. Just too hot. No one wants to be in Arizona.
Trust me, everyone wants to be in Arizona, Jack. Everyone.
It's true.
All right. That's for Jack. I'm Kevin. Thanks for tuning in to JK Sports. We'll see you next time.